What's going on, guys? It's your boy Jason Crystal. Listen, in this episode today, I really want to talk about something really important. I really want to talk about what's going on in the world today, because there's a lot of people that might feel like they don't have direction, especially what they're seeing in the media. They're seeing the destruction, the brutality on a systematic level. And I just want to talk because I think it's important for us to understand some key things that can help give us direction on where to go and how to focus our energy in the right places. If it's your first time, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I do a lot of videos like this to help empower your mind, your body, but I also work on helping you guys understand how to bring certain foods into your lifestyle that can help you to build muscle, burn fat, and get healthy, especially on things like a plant-based diet. There's a lot of shit going on in our world today, right? And a lot of times we can feel like we don't know where to go from here. What do we do from here? We've got convoys in Ottawa. We got the police coming in with their batons and their horse, feeling like they're heroes. At the end, they're just trampling over people with Tim Hortons coffee signs and hockey sticks and calling them terrorists. Where do we go from here when we see a system that's just shown its teeth to society? What do we do now? Do we act out in violence? Do we use other forms to help ourselves move forward? I want to cover a little bit more of this, and I want to keep us rolling because I think it's important that we see the totality of the perspective and everything that's happening, because if we get drawn into a trap of using our emotions that they want to elicit and solicit from us in terms of things like fear, and manipulate it around and turn it and shoot it on to the rest, project that to the rest of society, so they believe that everything that we're doing is exactly what they're saying, that all of us are terrorists, that the black guy with dreads and tattoos is somehow a white supremacist. They want you to believe this, and this is something that they've used for a very long time. But what's important is that we understand these tactics, that we understand that the biggest thing we can do is use things like love, that the biggest thing we can do is continue to talk compassion, to continue to be empathetic. These are sometimes downgraded. They're seen as things that are just fluff, seen as things that are just rainbow, seen as things that's just unicorns. If I just talk about love, why would I talk about love? Let's get out there and let's fucking use our bronze and fucking fuck them up. Let's fuck them up. Right? But a lot of people aren't thinking when they say, let's fuck them up. What are you talking about? I think a lot of times we have to take a step back and realize where we are in the moment, what has happened, and then how do we then gain momentum and continue to gain control in terms of what's happening. Now, in order to break this down, people have to think about stuff. And this is a topic I want to talk about because it's close to home, because I'm a black male myself. There's a lot of marginalized communities, like my native brothers and sisters, my Ukrainian brothers and sisters, and different marginalized communities around the world who have been through very similar circumstances. But I'm going to talk about the black perspective of it because me being a black male in society, I feel like I can talk better on that. When you consider Martin Luther King back in the 1960s, his goal was to bring white people together, black people together, all nationalities together under a banner of humanity, under a banner of hope, under a banner of love. Now, he did that not by galvanizing the troops and saying, get your baseball bats out, get your swords out, it's time to go out there and fuck them up. What he said was he had compassion, he had empathy. He said, in my eyes, what I see is I see a people coming together. I see unity, and darkness can't drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate can't drive out hate. Only love can do that. These aren't just words that he used. They're a way of being. They're a way of love. There's a way of understanding that you yourself are a conduit for things to impact people beyond what it is that you can see with the eyes. Because you see, eyesight and mindsight are two completely different things. And a lot of times people get fooled into the eyesight of what they're seeing. They get fooled into the batons and thinking the battle is lost. They get fooled into seeing people get trampled on horses and thinking the battle's lost. They get fooled into thinking they see truckers moving out of Ottawa and thinking the battle's lost. But that's just part of the eyesight. They're not seeing that what's being kicked up is an energy. It's a wave of love. It's a wave. It's a frequency of vibration. It's an excitement that's galvanized the world to feel and see that these people aren't what they're being made to be. They're not the terrorists that they thought that they were. They're not the racists that everybody claims that they are. Maybe a small percentage of people are, but the big totality of the situation is about freedom. It's about choice. It's about love. It's about happiness. It's about appreciating others, praying for others, hoping others understand where it is that we're coming from. And through that, when you got people with batons and horses feeling like fucking heroes, but you're out here on one knee praying for their salvation, praying for love, praying that compassion touches their heart, then that completely unravels what it is that they're trying to make you out to be. And so that's why the foot forward should always be love and compassion. In doing so, what you do is you infiltrate from the outside, but you also infiltrate from the inside. Because just like minorities went through a situation where they were seen on TV and misrepresented as being people that were criminals, thugs, people that weren't smart enough to be able to handle jobs that white people could handle, to be able to handle a living like white people have, to be able to be entrepreneurs like white people could be. And so by just acting out those and by acting out and showing what we could do, it changed the narrative. By having a black male like Martin Luther King, who came out and talked about unity, especially in the face of his people being brutalized, being raped, being hung, being lynched, being murdered, in the face of that, he called for unity between black people, between white people, between all nationalities, to understand, to hold hands and walk in the land of freedom. And I think it's important that we continue to understand and we continue to hold on to these lessons from the past that are so, if anything, more important today than they ever have been, especially in these moments. Because in doing that, we continue to crumble the narrative. We continue to throw the dust up in the air. But the important thing is to understand that these entities will keep moving. They'll keep moving fast because they don't want the dust to settle. Because when the dust settles, people will realize that all that excitement, all that energy, all that love, all that compassion that we put out there had a wave of influence to everybody on the planet. A wave of influence that they can't stop and a wave of influence that they cannot beat. But when you play their game and you dive into what they want because they're setting the bait, and when they set that bait in that trap, and now everybody starts using their masculine energy and they're not thinking about the balance between the masculine and feminine, that's when you run into an issue of you lost the battle because you did exactly what they wanted you to do. You became the terrorist. You became the criminal. You became the thug. And when you did that, you lost. And that was true when it came to the civil rights movement, when it came to Martin Luther King preaching what he was preaching, but it's true on everything that we're facing here in society today as well. And it's important that we recognize, again, those lessons from the past because they can help to direct us today. Try to hold love in your heart as hard as it is. And there's nothing wrong with feeling the anger, feeling like you want to fucking clap someone in the face because of what they're doing, especially in our world today. The amount of damage they're causing humanity, the damage they're causing children, families, jobs, entrepreneurs. But I think it's important that we also, again, look at that totality of the bigger picture and know that sometimes and know that love can be used as a powerful weapon to free us, and it is being used as a powerful weapon today. When they see you jumping around on a bouncy castle, but they're coming with batons to beat you down, that people say, wait a minute. When they see you on one knee praying for the same people that just brutalized you a day before, that just ran over your audience, that ran over your people with horses, when all you had was a Tim Hortons cup of coffee and love in your heart, people got to scratch their heads. When they see that despite all of the destruction and chaos and despite what's being shown in the media, you continue to hold signs with freedom. You continue to hold hands with black people, white people, native people, indigenous people, Mexicans. All nationalities continue to hold hands despite being called racist. People got to scratch their heads. When you move with compassion, when they move with fists and batons, people got to scratch their heads. But it's only when you decide to play their game, you bring your batons too, and they say, see, I told you the motherfucking niggas came here to fuck us up. I told you all these niggas were criminals. I told you all these niggas were thugs. I told you all these niggas is exactly what we wanted them to be. You gotta learn from the past to be able to bring it into the future and use the lessons that we've learned. Think about people like Jesus or Yeshua, who on a cross to his back still walked and said, Lord, forgive them because they do not know. And so the power that we have of love, the power that we have of understanding, the power that we have for compassion will eradicate the narrative that they want you to dive into, the bait trap that they want you to take. And so it's so important. I wanted to come in here. I wanted to share that message with you guys to really understand that. Love has many faces to it. It doesn't mean that when someone comes up to your door and they want to fuck you up, that you sit there and say, yeah, fuck me up. You fuck them up. But at the bigger picture of the totality of the war, the totality of the battle, you have to understand how to utilize love to be able to work for our advantage. And there's many ways that we can dive in and remember the electromagnetic frequencies that we give off. Remember the energies that we give up that are powerful. and that are impactful and that are today having a drastic impact on the course of humanity, or having a drastic impact in waking up others, or having a drastic impact in the understanding and the cultivating of a new earth that will bring in a dawn for humanity that humanity hasn't seen since Atlantis. So I want to keep sharing this information with you guys, give you guys some motivation, empowerment to know things are happening. Notice, go into the mind sight. Don't be fooled by the eyesight. Know that when the dust settles, you'll see yourself out to victory, that everything we're doing right now is impactful and powerful, and to know that we stand on the verge and the precipice of a new dawn for humanity, a precipice of a new dawn of love, of light, of understanding, of unity, of compassion, of inventions beyond your wildest imagination, of truth that's been hidden from you for a long time. So stay true, take care of your temple, take care of your body, take care of your people, take it one step at a time, and continue to try to move with unity and love, and just understand we got this. I love you guys. It's your boy Jason Crystal. Let's get it.